Welcome to Synagogues of Quebec, Part 1. Or do you say Quebec? That's part of the difficulty of showcasing the Jewish houses of worship in the province of Quebec in the country of Canada because French is the primary language in this area. We're going to start out by taking a look at a couple of synagogues in a suburb of Montreal called Cote St. This is the closest we can come to its proper pronunciation. It has more than 31,000 residents. The first place we're looking at is Beit Chabad. Rabbi Mendel Raskin is its director. This branch was founded by the rabbi in 1986. Besides Shabbat services, which, because it's Lubavitch, is conducted in Nusach Ari, there is also a daily morning minyan and a daily mincha and mariv minyan, and there are actually two mariv services on a nightly basis. Our next synagogue in this suburb is called Bet Rambam. It is Sephardic. What's interesting is that it shows what would typically be a Lubavitch Chabad menorah, but we're not sure if there's any connection to this organization. And this is the only information that we have on this synagogue. The third and final synagogue in this area is called Congregation Tiferet Bet David Jerusalem. It's a modern Orthodox congregation. The name reflects a merger of several synagogues, Tiferet Jerusalem, Beth David, Beth Yitzchak, and Kahal Yeshurun. One thing you'll observe about the synagogues in Quebec, regardless of the denomination, is that several are housed in very large facilities. Yecheskel Freundlich is the rabbi. He took over this position in August of 2016. The merger of all these synagogues was established by 1965. Beth Yitzchak combined with Beth David in the mid-1950s, and it was followed by a further merger with Kahal Yeshurun 2 years later. Separately, Tiferet Jerusalem had its own series of mergers, and then it combined with this synagogue in 1964. Beth David was the oldest of the lot, having been established by the mid to late 1880s. There is a city in Quebec called Laval. It has more than 422,000 residents, being the third largest city in the province. Here's one Jewish house of worship that was built around 1940. It's called Beth Abraham. This bungalow-style building could seat maybe 100 congregants at the most. At its greatest popularity in the 1970s, it was mostly for summer vacationers. Today at Best, services are held on the high holidays or very special occasions. Now, here is a synagogue facility that is used by two congregations. The first one is, as its name is shown, Shar Shalom. The only information we have on this congregation is that it is conservative affiliated. And a year ago, it made an agreement with the Young Israel of Chamedey, which is a neighborhood in Laval, to move in and rent space here. The Young Israel opened in 1959, but has seen a steady decline in membership. At its peak, it had over 800 families. They generally have an evening Marv minyan, and on some mornings will have a Shachrit service. Avram Bannon is the rabbi. There's another suburb of Montreal that's primarily English-speaking, and it is called Dollard des Ormeaux. There is a Chabad facility here called the Gutnick Mazal Jewish Center. Rabbi Yehoshua Yarmush is its director. Besides Shabbat services, there is a daily morning minyan and a daily evening minyan for Marv. This is in addition to the regular Shabbat services. And the facilities houses a mikveh. The building shown here was built in 1998. There's another suburb of Montreal called Hampstead, with two Jewish houses of worship. The first one is an Orthodox congregation called Adath Israel Poalei Tzedek Anshe Azarov. Michael Whitman is senior rabbi. His assistant rabbi is Alex Zweibel. This location has an Eruv. The synagogue was started in 1930. Poalei Tzedek congregation merged with it in 1992. That synagogue had been established in 1910. The members of Anshe Ozerov joined in 2003. Its second building in Hampstead was dedicated in 1981. The other Hampstead synagogue is Congregation Dorshe Emet. It belongs to the Reconstructionist movement. Shabbat services are conducted on Saturday mornings. Every other month they have a Friday evening potluck dinner with a scholar in residence. Boris Dolan has been its rabbi since June of 2016. Previous to this assignment, he had been a rabbi in Poland. The congregation was established in 1960. The facilities shown here were dedicated in 2002. We conclude part 1 of Synagogues of Quebec. More synagogues to follow, so bye for now and see you soon.